Well, I like mixing and matching both mediums. I enjoy all the different aspects that both of them bring. I guess when you do one for too long, you start to miss the other one. So we just got back from South Africa about a month ago, just before Christmas, and it's always an odd experience. You've been out in the African bush during their summer for 5 months, and then you sort of step on a plane and bypass autumn completely and just end up back here just before Christmas. But you can be a little cosseted and wrapped in cotton wool doing TV work, especially Wild at Heart, where we have to be incredibly patient with the animals because well, it's their habitat and you don't like to encroach too much. So yeah, we have to be very patient there, and in sort of 12 hours of filming you'll be lucky if you end up with 5 minutes usable footage. So there's a lot of hanging around and a lot of repetition. And of course when you come to do a live theatre show at the Live+Theatre, see how neatly I've segued that in, you're flying without a safety net, and you get to tell the whole story from beginning, middle to the end, and you get the live response from the audience at the Live+Theatre in Newcastle. I'm contractually obliged to say that every 5 minutes, and especially doing a comedy, you know, we're the only mammals who try to elicit laughter from each other. So when you get that response from a live audience at the Live+Theatre in Newcastle, to a funny bit of the play that the writer had intended to be funny, and you time it with your best efforts, you get that response, and it's always very unique and very fulfilling. And it's the audience who become a sort of fourth character in the play. They're the one aspect that we can't really rehearse for. So it does feel very alive doing that. And of course, here at the Live+Theatre in Newcastle, you're very in touch with the audience. So it'll be, I'm really looking forward to it. And Shaun Prendergast, who wrote the play, is one of my oldest and dearest friends for about 25 years now. And he's cast me as a very dangerous psychopath. I don't know what that says about our friendship. But it's the variety that keeps any actor going. So being able to go from filming Wild at Heart in the African bush to here and playing to diametrically opposed characters is a great thrill, and hopefully if I'm excited by the work, that will transfer to the audience. Oh, it would be nice if I got to bring the animals home. I'd quite enjoy walking down the quayside with Hobie, the big lion, and Hamley, who I miss very much, who's our giraffe, who sadly passed away this year. But what I have brought home with me is lots of pictures of Hamley, which I keep in my flat, so I see him every day. Well, I don't have any plans as such, but at the moment, when I finish here at the Live+Theatre in Newcastle, I'm heading down the road to film a series of DCI banks. We filmed a pilot for it last year and it proved very successful. They're from a group of novels by a writer called Peter Robinson, available in all good bookshops. And the last novel that he wrote, there's 19 in the series, and we're about to film 3 more. And yes, the last one that he wrote was called Bad Boy, and half of that is set in America. So with a bit of luck, I may be over there soon. Well, cheddar. You can't go wrong with cheddar at a gathering. It's always a very sociable cheese, I've found. Port Salut for a bit of variety, a bit of smoked flavour there. And a nice brie, because if you sort of melt one down, you can get like a fondue effect going. And again, very good for mingling. Well, I'm a very sort of famous for my method approach to all of my work, and as I'm playing a very serious northeast gangster, I go out in the evenings and hide in the shadows and strangle people along the quayside. Strangling is Freddie's speciality. He's able to dispatch someone in about 20 seconds. So I've currently got it down to about 36. My arm's getting a bit tired, but I'm trying to bring it down to that 20-second mark, and then when I actually get to use that in the play, it'll be completely believable. Well, we first met about 12 years ago at the Royal Exchange Theatre in Manchester, where he had his acting hat on and was in the Brothers Karamazov, which I went to see. And we had a marvellous evening together, and sort of promised in our drunken hazes that we'd work together one day. And that came to fruition about 5 years ago. Johnny got in touch with me and we met up and talked about projects we'd like to do and where we'd like to work, and the Royal Exchange being one of our favourite theatres until we discovered the Live+Theatre in Newcastle. Forgive our foolish ways, but we'd both worked there before, and it's in the round and a very exciting place to work. So Johnny put his thinking cap on and came up with the part of Vindice in The Revenger's Tragedy, which was a play that I'd studied at A-level, and a very, very gruesome play. It's you know, a revenge drama, and Vindice is the guy out for revenge. He's had his girlfriend poisoned, so he sets out to bring down a whole dukedom, and it's a very gory piece. And Johnny is a fabulously visual director. He works a lot in opera, so things, he's not afraid to be bold and daring. And I knew that when we read this play for the first time in London, that it was the sort of world that Johnny could understand and encompass and throw all his energies into. He's a wonderful director to work with, very funny, very inventive, and just brings a whole, you know, a lot of things that weren't necessarily on the page. He'll take one aspect and just run with it and develop it, and has a great eye for comedy, and is very well suited to Shaun's style of writing. And it was my fault that they met in the first place. Johnny's a massive Chelsea supporter, but we can forgive him. And they got through to the European Cup final against Manchester United. And Shaun, who isn't a football fan, was working in Leeds at the time, so I invited him over to Manchester and to the flat I was staying at, and introduced him to Johnny. So this whole sort of collaboration is largely my fault, and I think it's very good of me to take the blame.